Okay, hello everyone, welcome back to another video. So today, for Australia Day, or yesterday, we're going to be looking at the Z-Force, the start of the SASR, the very start of it. So let's get started. The Z Special Unit was a joined Allied Special Forces unit formed during the Second World War to operate behind Japanese lines in Southeast Asia. Predominantly Australian, Z Special Unit was a specialist reconnaissance and sabotage unit that would include British, Dutch, New Zealand and Timorese and Indonesian members, predominantly operating on Borneo and the islands of the former Dutch East Indies. The unit carried out a total of 81 covert operations in the West Pacific Theatre, with parties inserted by parachute or submarine to provide intelligence and conduct guerrilla warfare. So, thought I'd do guerrilla warfare. No, I mean the Z-Force because it was Australia Day. This is a very, kind of start of the SASR. Very tactical unit. Hardcore. My dad had a friend who was in the Z-Forces, and he done secret operations, blowing up Japanese infrastructure in the islands and stuff like that. And I'll just be a sec and I'm going to put up some videos of Australian forces in World War. Okay, so we're back, and right now we've got some footage of just Australian forces in World War II. And shout out to this buyoutfootage.com guy. Very thankful. I think this looks like that's a C-47, American one by the looks of it. Okay, so more stuff on the Z-Force. The best known of these missions were Operation Jaywick and Operation Ramal, both of which involved raids in Singapore Harbour. The later which resulted in the deaths of 23 commandos, either in action or by execution after capture. Although the unit was disbanded after the war, many of the training techniques and operational procedures employed were later used during the formation of other Australian Army Special Forces units, and they actually still use some of the techniques that they use to train these Z-Force special units today in the Australian Army, and obviously for guerrilla warfare tactics and stuff. Alright, so that was the Z-Force unit sequence of this video, and now we're going to talk about Australia's involvement in World War I. Okay. Ooh. It ain't bad to be here. Australians lighting up that building. So this is exactly what I was saying, guerrilla warfare. They've been trained to go through these hard conditions and do this very stuff. Very elite soldiers we have here. Alright, so Australia's involvement in World War I. So Z-Force was World War II, but thought just to keep the video going, can we put on just a little bit more information on Australia's involvement in World War I. So it's Australia's involvement in World War One began when Britain and Germany went to war on the 4th of August 1914. Yep. And both Prime Minister Joseph Cook and opposition leader Andrew Fisher, who were in the middle of an election campaign, pledged full support for Britain. Full support for Britain, while the outbreak of the war was greeted in Australia, as in many other places, with great enthusiasm. Very good. Okay, so that's a little part I've done. Just a little part. And these, back to the Z Force units, they trained, one of their training, I heard a little story, that one of their training missions was them, they actually had these portable canoes that would fold in half. I think I nicknamed them backbreakers or something like that. And they'd carry them around, and when they need to cross a river or if they need to cross like a lake or a river or something, just put that down and cross it. And they actually tested this one day. They got a dummy limpet charge. Limpet charge was a mine which had kind of stick to things, and you could lay it down and add a timer, a set timer, and yeah. And one day they were actually training. This is a little story, and they actually rowed out to a civilian boat undetected, a commercial fishing boat, and placed one of these limpet charges on it. And then actually rowed back, and soon enough the authorities found out, and then I think some of the soldiers were locked up, but they got taken out because it was just kind of part of their training, but they weren't supposed to do it. And they got sent back in service. Yeah. Very elite, these soldiers. And that's about all I have for is today. But soon in the future, I decided one of the main things I'm going to be focusing on is doing the Dardanelles campaign in Gallipoli, because that's pretty interesting, and I just like that subject of World War One. So yeah, I'm going to wrap it up there. I'll see you guys in the next video, and yeah, see yous.